Hello everybody, I'm here today to play some more TF2, and yes, today I'm playing as the medic purely because it's so easy to record footage as the medic. Also, I have to say before I start this rant that it is so refreshing to have a soldier know what he's doing and actually damage himself so he can get your Uber up faster. A surprisingly small amount of people in pubs do this, and I don't know why. It's so beneficial. It gives you your Uber 25% faster if you keep hurting yourself. Anyway, as per usual, I am not here to talk about TF2, I am here to talk about modders. Now, I'm not talking about those assholes who take 360 controllers and basically ruin COD games with aimbots and stuff like that. I'm not talking about those kind of modders. I'm talking more on the lines of the beneficial modders, the ones that add things to the game that makes it better. Now, honestly, there is a lot of games that I made 10 times better with mods, and really I recommend it only for mods. One of which is Skyrim, which I will get onto later. But my main argument is that I personally think that developers don't appreciate these guys enough. Now, I know to developers they're not a part of your team and you really shouldn't care that much about them, but they're free extra content for you. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is let those guys work on a game they love and you lose nothing from it. You really should try and help them out more, because they're what make games last in the decades. Games that should be long since outlasted become brand new again when you mod it to hell. It's just true. But the problem is developers don't really give much recognition to these people. By that I mean they don't really give much capabilities. Like in PC games, I am of the belief that they probably should give some compatibility to people who mod the game. Like make it a bit easier, because they make it kind of difficult for some games. Like an example of something I really do want in this whole industry is with Civ 5. When Civ 5 came out, rather than make it awkward for anyone who wants to mod a game, what they did was they literally put a modding option in the main menu. That is a good idea, because let's face it, because Civ 4 was so much better with all the add-ons. Seriously, that's what made Civ 4 so good. There was like this fantasy add-on, there was Game of Thrones has been put in, all these different types of stuff have been put into Civ 4, and it's basically what made Civ 4 so popular and last so much longer than it did. This, in my opinion, is what makes PC so much better than console games. PC games are so much better than console games because, granted, when they first come out, they're about of the same caliber, apart from the whole 30 frames per second thing, but honestly, I don't really care about that kind of stuff. The main thing I notice for PC games is that after about 2 or 3 years for like a modding compatible game, the game just becomes amazing. It becomes so well made. So many things are added to make the game more compatible to how a person plays, or more difficult, or give it more capabilities, or more weapons, or whatever. It is for this reason that PC games actually have a far longer lifespan than console games. Console games never last half as long as PC games do, for this reason. Granted, some developers, like Mojang, add mods into Minecraft in the console versions, but really, let's face it, what has made Minecraft so good? It's the sheer amount of easily made mods in that game. There's like hundreds upon hundreds of good mods that make that game unbelievable, and mod packs are an entirely different game to Minecraft. It's not Minecraft anymore if you play mod packs. They're so well made and so in depth, and there's just so much more in them. It's almost like they could, if they were doing console versions, like if I was working with Microsoft, who by the way just bought Mojang, if I just got Microsoft, I would say, guys, make a Minecraft 2. All you have to do is take away the rough edges, put up the graphics, and put in and get permission and put in a shitload of mods that already exist. It will be a platinum seller. It will go so well. It will go down so well. Now, of course, some people might argue with this and say mods can take away from the game and make it buggy and ruin a game, not just for Minecraft but for everything. And I have to disagree. Like if the mod is well made, then it shouldn't cause any problems. It depends on how well made the mod is. The mod might, if mods crash, then it mightn't actually just be the fact of using mods. It could be the compatibility of the mods, because you don't know how to use them, or it could just be it was a bad mod. It doesn't necessarily mean mods in general are a bad thing. Now, of course, the point I was getting on to is that modders don't actually get much recognition and stuff, and honestly, some developers are of the opinion that modders shouldn't get any sort of support for them because they're slowing down the game. I think they're being too traditionalist and they're being too old school, because I think modding is just such an amazing thing, and it's probably the future for a lot of games. For another example of a great game that modding has just changed is Skyrim. Skyrim actually, like, for a lot of people, wasn't even well liked because, you know, it wasn't as good as some people say it wasn't as good as Oblivion, or it wasn't as good as Morrowind. A bit like Civ, actually. people say 5 wasn't as good as 4, but same thing, people are saying that Skyrim wasn't as good as Oblivion. And honestly, I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm just going to say that modding made Skyrim crazy good. I personally am a modder for Skyrim. I play modded Skyrim quite a bit. Well, I stopped playing it recently, but for a long time I played Skyrim full to the brim with mods, and it was incredible. I loved it. In fact, I might even make a let's play with modded Skyrim if push comes to shove and I really want to. But if not, that might just pass on. But that's not the point. Skyrim is incredible with mods. Seriously, it's like the game looks gorgeous. It looks really good. The textures are perfect. The models are really good, and the shading is it's spot on. It's really good. Especially, like, I'm talking more along the lines of that's just graphical mods. There's Sky UI, which is basically the best probably mod in the game, which just it changes the interface and makes it so compatible with PC. It makes it really good. And of course, Skyrim isn't the only one that benefits so much from mods. There's loads of games that benefits from mods, like Half-Life, like Valve. Talking about these amazing guys who made this game I'm playing right now, they completely encompass mods. They're the guys, in my opinion, who are the gods of just embracing mods. These are the guys we think every other developer should look up to for mods. Here's what I'm talking about. When a modder makes a really good game, for example, Counter-Strike was a mod, so was Left 4 Dead. These guys, they take in the modders, they hire them in Valve, and let them make a sequel or make a full game, and it's almost always a really good game. Well, it is always a really good game. Look, if you guys think about it, Dota was a mod, Left 4 Dead was a mod, Portal actually was a mod for a game called Rift, and, most surprisingly of all, Counter-Strike was a mod. All their games are based on mods, and they're all really well-selling games because they embrace the modding community and allow them to make games under them. That's really good. So basically, my argument is that modding is the reason all these really amazing games existed, and it's also because Valve are letting it happen. They're embracing these amazing modders. Anyway, that's it. If you have your own opinion, or if I missed something, because I seem to do that a lot lately, if you liked what you saw, then I'll see you next time. If you didn't like what you saw, then I won't see you next time. Feel free to like and subscribe. Bye.